Hey guys, Adam Rundle here, and I just wanted to create a quick little video on a financial topic that uh, we've been thinking about a lot. When I say we, here at ABR Consulting, we're obviously engaging with a lot of clients about their finances, and a topic that we feel is really important and that we've discussed with a lot of people and ourselves lately that uh, has got us thinking a lot, and personally got me uh, really trying to process some ideas, is a topic around profitability and revenue. And it all kind of stems from a question, some random question asked about, you know, revenue or profitability. What is your primary focus? So assuming you're an entrepreneur and you are, running your own business, and you're trying to, run successfully your own business, I think that question is really relevant. And, what is your primary focus? Are you focused primarily on revenue, or are you focused primarily on profits, or what does that look like? What is, are you creating space and time for each? Um, and it is obviously a really important question. And I think it's important more so than the outcome, more so than, hey, I spent 80% or 20%, or it's here, there, or what you feel, more so just the thought process behind it of why each are important, and challenging yourself to be reflective of what your focus is and whether that is really healthy for your business, or can you shift your focus a little bit here or there? Would that lead to a better outcome and a more successful business down the line? And so, people say revenue is the most important, or people say profitability is the most important. You've got to focus on one or the other. I think my personal opinion is that they're interlinked. There's no profitability without revenue. Revenue is the starting point of any business. If you don't have revenue, you don't have a business. Yes, profitability is huge, and as an accountant, we really focus on profitability more than revenue because that's what we do. But they are both hugely important, and I think they're really important in different ways, in different areas, in different ways. And the way you address them, the way you think about them, the way you focus on them can be very different. And I want to talk a little bit about what I think is happening with a lot of entrepreneurs out there, which is perfectly natural and normal. But this is again the assessment that we've made, and the challenge I would maybe give out to entrepreneurs around just their thought process. And so, if I want to use an example of a bigger organization, so assuming you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to run your own business, that can be very challenging. And one of the reasons, there's multiple reasons, and one reason in particular why it's very challenging is if you compare yourself to a bigger organization. Bigger organizations have departments. So there's a department working on marketing, there's a department working on sales, department for finance, department for HR, and all these different departments. Which means that people spending all their time, all their focus on that single area. So just marketing, or just sales, or just HR, or just finances. And that consumes, so that's all their focus is, okay? And then the job of the organization is at the high level to make sure that each of those areas are being as efficient and working as well as they can work in order to advance the overall performance of the business. So the challenge, though, if you're an entrepreneur, is you are all those departments. So even if you have a couple of partners maybe, or you have some outsourced staff or contractors or employees, or contractors or employees, you're still in charge of all those departments. There's not this like external sales department that is just running by itself and self-function. You got to manage that. You got to manage the content creation. You got to manage the marketing. You got to manage the finances. You got to manage the HR. You got to manage client services. You got to manage all these different areas, which can be very challenging. And providing each department and area with the adequate amount of time, energy, expertise, focus, all those things is a challenge. It's hugely challenging for an entrepreneur. And and I think that's the base point of the challenges of being an entrepreneur. And what that leads to, and I'm going to make an assumption, which I think is a pretty fair assumption, and I'm not saying I'm categorically correct, but I think what I'm going to say is pretty fair, and I think you would agree with me, that if you're an entrepreneur, you're visionary, you're very high level, overall view oriented, meaning you can see the big picture. You're probably very passionate. You know your product. You know how to manufacture your product, or you know how to put together your service. You know how to connect with your clients. You're probably network orientated. You probably are very outgoing. You're probably an extrovert. You love interacting with people. You love the feedback. You love the buzz. You love the energy of running a business. This exciting part of, trying to make money, and that's all exciting to you. And you think of people like Elon Musk, who's this incredible visionary. I mean, he's got a thought and a vision for something that some of us don't even understand. And that's the typical nature of an entrepreneur. And so the laws of human nature are pretty simple. You will always do things that you're good at. You will always do things that make you comfortable. You'll always do things that are fulfilling to you. You very rarely do things, or you only do them in small quantities, of things that you're scared of, things that are uncomfortable to you, things that are challenging. So if you're an entrepreneur, the likelihood is you're spending a ton of time in your business on content creation, marketing, social media, connecting with clients, developing your product or your service, building the funnel, all those things. You're spending a ton of time on that. Why? Because it's energy giving, it's fulfilling, it's exciting, it fills you up. It's what comes naturally to you. And the reality to that as well is those things in particular drive revenue. So you end up probably over is not the right word. You end up being hyper-focused on revenue, because that's the measure of your output and what you're doing. Because if you're connecting with people on social media, if your funnel's working, the only way it works is if people are engaging with you, means people are buying your product, which means your revenue is going up. So there's your direct feedback. So you're going, yes, it's working, it's filling your energy, and you keep going and going and going. So the likelihood as an entrepreneur is you're really heavily focused on revenue. Amazing. That's the base point of your business. Without revenue, you don't have the business. So there's nothing wrong with that. No one's trying to tell you anything different. The challenge, though, I don't want to say problem, I just want to say challenge, is how much time and effort maybe not so much time, how much space are you giving to the profitability side of your business? And when I say profitability, I mean, the efficiency. So how well your business is running in order to maximize profitability. And the challenge there as an entrepreneur is that's a very detailed orientated thing, where being an entrepreneur and, being all that content creation element, I'm not saying there's no detail in that, but it's more high level energy, overview, visionary elements. So that's the driver of that. When profitability is like really like detail, that's why accountants are boring, and I'm an accountant, and everyone says accountants are boring. They're bean counters, they probably an introvert or whatever it is. And there's a reason why there's an association, is because their job is so detail oriented. Our job is so detail oriented. We're looking at each and every single line item. We're checking all the software costs. We're checking, are you saving money here, spending too much money there? It's super detail oriented. So the likelihood is that's not something that really resonates with you as an entrepreneur, because that's not energy giving. But unless you spend time in the detail, you cannot work out your profitability. You cannot run your business more efficiently in order to maximize profitability. So therefore, that's maybe not a major focus for you. Assumptions. So just take what I'm saying and apply it to yourself, and I may be wrong. But at least I think the thoughts are valid. And so if you want to focus on profits, which you have to, and I'm going to tell you why you have to, is the long-term sustainability of your business is all about profits. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, revenue initially is hugely important, and you need revenue. I'm never going to say revenue is not important, but for your business to be around in 5, 10, 15, 20 years' time, it's got less to do with the level of revenue and more to do with your profitability. Okay, yes, revenue drives profitability, so that happens, I agree. But the ultimate focus has to be profitability. Why? Because if you generate $1 million a year and it costs you $1 million to run your business and you're not making any money, that's not very sustainable. You're not going to be in business for many, many years. Okay, despite how good your revenue numbers are. And if you're an investor and you wanted to invest in a business, your investment is based on ROI, so your return on your investment, and the return on investment is how profitable a business can be. If you can be profitable and you can grow the value of your business, then people want to invest in you, and that's the way it works. So profitability is huge, and you have to focus on it, at least in some way. I'm not saying not focus on revenue, but you have to give that time and effort. And so the challenge, though, is a couple of things. And I'm going to kind of run through the first few, and then I'm going to focus on one for a bit. But challenge is detail, maybe not something that you really like doing. It's boring. Who wants to spend on their books when they could be spending 2 hours engaging with clients? It could be scary. It could be really, really scary because you maybe don't understand it enough. It's maybe finances isn't comfortable. You're not very comfortable with finances. It's not your strong point. So you're scared to know what the numbers tell you. You're scared to be told that, hey, you're not profitable, or you're scared to see whether it's working or not. It's time consuming. These things take time, and that's the reality, is they do take time. So the part I want to focus on more, though, so I think all of those are relevant. Those I'm sure you've experienced all of them. You can find many people going like, yay, I did my taxes, or yay, I did my books. Like, it doesn't happen. Okay, that's the reality of accounting. It's the reality of financial management. It's not the most exciting thing in the world. But then there's one area that I think is the most important, and this is one that I really hope you take on. I really hope you listen to, and I really hope that you think about and really think about properly. And the topic is about objectivity. So I'm going to go back to the high-level organization the organization I was talking about earlier. So if you're an organization and you have a board of directors, they meet, take the finances, they take all the performance results of their business, and they go, okay, we've got these 5 different product lines. Okay, product A line we're going to cut because profitability dropped from 25% to 10%. It's not worth it anymore. Let's cut it, throw it out the door. Okay, line B is good. Let's count more Reese's there. Line C, let's keep going. Whatever that decision is. And they're enabled, that's why you have board of directors, because they need to be objective, and they need to remove themselves from the day-to-day running of the business and the emotional attachment to those products and say, hey, are they profitable? Are they not profitable? Do they make sense for us to invest time and effort into? Does it make sense for us to continue? If not, can it close, carry on? Can you do that as an entrepreneur in your business? Very, very hard. Why? Because that product or service is you, most likely. How objective are you going to be when you say, hey, man, I'm not very good at what I do. It's not working. It's hard. No one wants to do that. No one wants to, you probably spend 6 months, a year, I don't know how long you spent building a funnel, learning, going on courses, learning how to do things, creating all the content for your course or the service you're trying to offer. And you do all of this, and you get out there and you being an entrepreneur, you're doing all of that. How objective are you going to be and say, hey, it's not working, it's not profitable, it can't? I mean, maybe that option's not even on because you're so invested into this. You're just like, hey, man, I can't even think about closing the shop. I've invested all my life savings into this. I got to keep going. And that's a challenge because you have to be you have to be objective when you're measuring profitability. That's why boards of directors are so important. That's why you have people that do that. That's the whole point of them. And so my challenge to you is, do you have that? As an entrepreneur, do you have someone or people that you trust, people you can turn to, people that you can people that can talk to you and be objective about your business and that you can take seriously. People that can say, hey, man, I love you, man. You're a great guy, but it's not working. And unfortunately, it's not working. And will you listen to that person? And will you listen to them to maybe change the approach you're doing or to change your mindset? And that is objectivity. And that, to me, is the biggest challenge for entrepreneurs when it comes to profitability. Is it takes so much detail to work out profitability. And then you have to ask some real questions. Is this working, and do I want to carry on? And is this worth carrying on? And you need to be objective about that. So to go back to the beginning, and I don't want to ramble on too much longer, but to go back to the beginning and say, what is your primary focus, revenue or profitability? My answer is simple: is they're both important. You've got to have space for both of them. They kind of work in different ways. So you can be naturally very focused on revenue because of who you are as an entrepreneur. But then you need to create a time and space. Very important. You need to create a time and space where you focus on profitability, where you get immersed in the detail. They say the devil's in the detail. That's the reality of finances. So you get immersed in that, and you give the time and effort you need into the profitability of your business. And then include people, whether it's partners, whether it's coaches, consultants, mentors, include them in that so that they can help you be objective. They can help you look at it and go, whoa, this is working or it's not working. This needs to change or this doesn't need to change. It's so hard to do that if you are the business. You're so emotionally engaged in your business. So I hope that, so if you're going to take anything from this video, I just hope that you can look at yourself critically and what you're focusing on your business, and start creating a space and time to really focus on the profitability, and thus include people in to help you be objective and get immersed in the detail, and give that the time and effort it needs. It's so important to the longevity of your business. So if you want to kind of read a little bit more about this, I have written an article on it that's on our website. I think the link's below somewhere. And I hope that's helpful to you. We would love to engage with you more about this topic if you have any thoughts on it. And if you disagree with me or agree, or it doesn't really matter, just make some comments, and hopefully we can just continue to push the boundaries of being entrepreneurs and really grow as entrepreneurs, and make that, as we grow as entrepreneurs, we'll become better, we'll run more successful businesses, and hopefully impact our communities more. So yeah, reach out to us, we can get some comments, and hopefully we can create some good dialogue around this.